Hey, Corum.
Yeah.
It's time to go dark again.
What is this one going to be about?
It's going to be about Schoolboy.
Like the wrestling move where you pin him?
No, something much darker.
Covering the dark part of the web. Darker content, so put the kids to bed. Banana, banana, banana bear, dark.
SmartSchoolBoy9. This is a whole internet rabbit hole that was gone down by Nick Crowley, and then I saw it by Nexpo.
Yeah.
So they both done it, and they were both on each other's videos. But this was a really dark rabbit hole about a fake account that turned into something much, much more sinister and darker. Possibly. I mean, they're still looking into it, I think. But, oof.
It has to do with PDFs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Schoolboy.
Oh, good.
Creepy accounts pretending to be kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels, check images in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps as I keep trying to look for answers. This post was made to the subreddit r/Instagram by the user numerouscut792 on April 15th, 2024. It featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they had encountered earlier that day, with OP expressing concern that something truly disturbing was happening with these users. And those in the thread agreed. What the actual fuck? Found all of them and blocked them all. Truthsticks11 is seriously creepy to me. I've been trying to find more about them but can hardly find anything. Very weird account to say the least. The 3 accounts apparently belong to 3 different children. However, when combing through their posts, the content seems to imply something much more bizarre was afoot.
Wow, I like creepypastas too.
Something truly disturbing.
That's what this sounds like.
This post would be the start of a story that would eventually be picked
Like Mr. Wide Gap Mouth guy, or what's the dumb one? Jeff the Killer.
Yeah.
You know.
up and shared all across the online world, becoming one of the more notorious internet mysteries in recent memory, as these accounts revealed an unending rabbit hole that is still being traversed to this very day, in an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved oddities ever found on Instagram. This is the emerging story of SmartSchoolBoy9.
1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you like these first posts. School is good. Really good.
It's gonna be one of these videos.
Mm-hmm.
We'll return after these messages.
Before we get too far down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's sponsor. You can click the link in the description, which was said to be operated by a 12-year-old boy and his mother.
What? I mean, they're not our advertisement.
Back in October of 2021, the duo would make their very first post, kicking things off on a somewhat concerning note, though not for their own page, but instead another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man
I
pretending
hate this
to
voice.
be a boy.
The video was created and posted by the mother for the sole purpose of warning others of a specific user who had been posing as a child online when in actuality he was a grown man who did this in order to get close to and exploit other children across the platform. It's the grim reality of this online world, as predators will do just about anything to get closer to children, and it's a reality often unrealized or even ignored by parents, which makes it almost refreshing that this mother was out here trying to raise awareness.
Oh, thank God.
These posts would become the crux of the account early on. They would call out this user and their many accounts again and again, eventually going more in depth about what this person would actually do, claiming that they had a strange perversion to dressing up as a young schoolboy. Does he wish he were a young boy in a school classroom, looking nice and being successful at school? Yes. This theme of calling out online predators would remain consistent throughout the years on Truthsticks11. However, after some time, the mother behind the account began to use the page for its initially intended purpose, to share photos of her son. The photos began reasonably normal, and would show this young boy studying at school, accepting awards from their principal, and even school presentations in which their son
These
had
look
attended,
kind of fake, right?
with the captions often
They're not the same kid.
Exactly.
boasting about how intelligent the young boy was. Though over time, the photos began to grow stranger.
What? No way. That's not strange.
He's making a fort. He's the Joker. Nightmare fuel.
They looked off, almost as if they were AI generated. And on top
I have nothing for this one.
Yeah. Spaghetti hair?
Powder, that movie, that, ew.
of this, they began to appear heavily edited in an almost inexplicable manner, with deep red lipstick often being added, which was enunciated by his face being turned pure white.
The Joker again?
This unsettling trend would continue from here, as with each passing post, the photos grew less authentic and more surreal. Until they became straight up disturbed, even sickening. These bizarre edits spilled over past just the images too, as the posts began to appear as disjointed collages, often showcasing multiple grotesque images and paragraphs about how much this user loved school. And this wasn't the only shift either. At some point, the son behind the account began posting content that allegedly came directly from him, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said, yes please." He even shared supposed videos that he had filmed of himself, which were equally as unconvincing as his photos, and somehow
Or I'm
even
guessing
more
you
chilling.
can already tell that this is going to go some good places, right?
Now, Mikey, if this was just a creepypasta, I'd be like, oh man, not really original, but whatever.
Right.
But because I've done some digging on this myself, it's not.
The boy even shows off his singing in one of the clips.
Like, I don't know how anyone would think this is like a real person.
Yeah, I mean, this is similar to the stuff you do with images.
Not this bad.
I mean, it's not bad.
Though their voice sounds off.
I am an artist, Mikey. I'm not this weirdo.
The account was overall
I'm not trying to
anomalous
say
and
that.
extremely off-putting. And though this content was visually alarming, another aspect made it even more so concerning, as over time, many of the images began to resemble CP, showcasing these fake AI children in explicit positions,
What the fuck?
with their faces sometimes even being photoshopped onto scantily dressed adult bodies. One thing is blatantly obvious about the Truth Sticks account: the supposed child behind it is not real. Even in the more passable photos at the very beginning, there's evidence to suggest that these were likely AI as well. And based on the disturbed, borderline illegal content that this page featured, it seemed more than likely that
It's not borderline. It is illegal. I think they passed a law recently that you cannot make AICP.
They
whoever
did
was behind
remove
this
it from the AI, a lot of the AI searches.
page was
There's ways around that crap. I mean, like, I don't know about the CP shit, but like, they say, oh, you can't make violence.
Mhm.
You can't have a guy punching another guy. Oh, but if you say a man's fist flying into, and a guy running into it, sometimes that works.
was not an innocent mother concerned for the welfare of other children, but instead a predatory individual themselves. And this wasn't their only account. The second page featured on the Reddit post belonged to a user named GirlChloe12 and bore striking similarities to Truth Sticks. The page was also supposedly run by a child and monitored by their parent. Bizarrely, they also posted frequently about the dangers of online predators, with the wording of these posts and the editing being essentially the exact same as Truth Sticks, just not as over the top. These two
Looks
accounts
very
even frequently
similar.
interacted with each other, thus providing a substantial link on its own. But by far the most compelling link between these pages is one that is easy to miss at a glance, with that being a blatant obsession with high-heeled mini boots. These shoes were mentioned or shown
is
in
a
virtually
weird
every
thing
single post made by these two users.
To be the link. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are fucking weird.
Users. At playtime, I'm sometimes running around with my really cool heeled footwear I wear with my uniform. After coming home from school, education isn't over for the day once the blue blazer, gray jersey, neat tie, white shirt, tailored close-fit gray trousers, and black heeled mini boots are in the wardrobe. No matter what they discussed, school uniforms and mini boots were always a talking point, which adds confirmation to something that is already becoming apparent. This is fetish content, not too unlike the bizarre
100%.
accounts in the Pipergate rabbit hole. Fetish content centered around children.
I don't know what Pipergate is.
We'll have to look into that one. I've heard about
And
it.
what makes the Chloe account so disturbing is that AI was seemingly not used, and rather the images seem to be of actual children.
This is
Despite this
despicable.
disturbing distinction, these two accounts are cut from the same cloth, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. A person who, despite their constant warnings of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be doing the exact same thing, as part of some sort of fetish, the extent of which we'll discuss later. But for now, one thing was for certain. These pages were not run by children, or their parents.
No shit.
So, who created them?
No way.
Some
Well, that
fat
brings
guy.
us to our third and final account shown in that initial post.
Am I right? Is it a fat guy? Probably. Bet shit's fat guy.
SmartSchoolBoy9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over
No, we're about
high-heeled
to
mini
find
boots
out.
and school uniforms, and posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different in one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner, as they didn't use AI
Yeah, they
or
do.
stolen images of other kids to form their identity. And instead, they used photos of themselves.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's a fat guy.
Yeah.
In the images posted on the account,
What? Why are all sick fucks the same body type as Leatherface? Like,
Shapes?
yeah, shapes, or they're like Freddy, where they're super small, right? It's only those two fuckers. It's never like, oh, a 6'5" fucking giant. No, it's always a fat guy or a skinny little guy.
And they do something to their faces.
Yeah, it's like, look at that. That looks like Leatherface.
Yeah. It looks like a monster.
we see what appears to be a
Can
fully
you
grown
imagine that
man
being like,
dressed
let's
in
go
a
to school,
schoolboy's
guys?
uniform. His face
Very Buffalo Bill.
is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick, and he's of course wearing high-heeled mini boots. Characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time it was done on himself, as he poses as a child pretending to go to school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part,
Oh, really?
as the account consists primarily of videos.
Oh. School up. Hey, let me know if you like school as well.
The videos are all incredibly off-putting. Some show him arriving home from school,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that a mask right here?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I think so.
School.
others show him claiming to be on the bus heading toward school.
Yeah.
He's fucking bald.
Okay. Yes, and on the school bus.
And other videos showing him doing
That's a mask.
It is a mask.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
like a half mask?
Mm-hmm.
God.
whatever this is. With these strange sounds and the process of sticking his tongue out appearing to be part of his fetish,
That's not real.
As much like the other accounts, his content is overtly sexual, in its own bizarre way. In fact, there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself, right out of view of the camera.
Fuck?
As he stares into his own eyes. This account is by far the most sickening part of this whole rabbit hole, and also the most important. Interspersed throughout his page are a few examples of what this individual's voice sounds like.
This is quite good.
Why?
Which just so happens to be the same voice heard in the very first clip.
Well, obviously it's sped up. The pitch is it's too high.
Yeah.
For a grown fat guy.
Shown on the Truth Sticks account.
A man pretending to be a boy.
Meaning that this full-grown adult man is the one behind this entire rabbit hole. He's the one on these accounts pretending to be a child and their mother, getting some sort of sick satisfaction from whatever this is. And the worst part is, these activities aren't just kept behind closed doors. As we can see on numerous occasions, videos of him walking around outside in a public space, with his full outfit and face paint on.
So that right there. Who would let this happen? Like...
Well, Mikey, we live in a society that everyone's half retarded. I'm not joking, man. It's like, oh,
I know.
You know, you're allowed to fucking dress up like a fucking ballerina, kitty cat person. Shit in your litter box, like.
And nobody's allowed to say anything to you.
But that's all.
Like, now I don't think that's a mask.
I think sometimes
well, it has to be.
It has to be.
No, it has to be though. It's protruding too much. Unless, no offense, I'm saying, he's like stuffing his mouth to make his cheeks bigger, but those teeth are not real.
It's truly one of the strangest things that I've ever seen, and making sense of what this all is
But him, like, only doing half of it is weird.
Extremely difficult. But based on the information found from this first Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be put forward. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a kid, and I think OP was correct when they speculated that this was some sort of age play thing, but it's also clearly much more than that too. As based on the images that he's created himself, he clearly has some sort of attraction to other children as well, as he's quite literally created faux CP, the likes of which is so disturbing that I can't even really describe it here either. He's creating fetish content, and he's using the likeness of children, and also some children that are clearly very real people, to do so. That much is obvious. But there was also the possibility that he was pretending to be a kid in order to exploit other children across the internet. At this point though, this was merely speculation, with much of the SmartSchoolBoy9 case remaining a mystery, and the rabbit hole was only getting deeper from here. Months after this rabbit hole was introduced to the online world, the story began to be shared all across the internet, most notably on the r/internet mysteries subreddit, where the case really took off. There, internet sleuths began—
I'll say this. Reddit's like the new 4chan.
Yeah.
For some shit. But sometimes I really wish 4chan would take over. Because 4chan is more like aggressive. When it comes to their shit, they're like, they'll do it. Reddit's more like passive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you find a 4chan's on top of it, you know it's going to get solved. But Reddit, no.
And uncovering just how vast this web of accounts actually was, as it wasn't just these three.
Reddit
like
will get mad and talk about it.
Yeah, and then like 4chan, they're so incelish that they will not stop until it's like figured out. They have like, it could get bad there, I know that. But 4chan, if it's used for good, fucking, they're unstoppable. You know, we've seen that countless times.
Pages. No, there seemed to be over a dozen, and like—
Unless it's Sophie. Was that the chick's name?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Likely even more that we still haven't found, as he's created his own sort of community, his own little world, where across each page he pretends to be a child, with these accounts typically following each other and frequently interacting, seemingly to make these characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joanne, he poses as a 14-year-old girl, using more AI images to depict explicit positions of this manufactured child, which I obviously am not going to show here. Though much like his Chloe account, he also shows images of very real young girls. But this isn't the most concerning part of this account, as on numerous occasions, he's shown images of children at a playground.
Bro, like if someone actually found this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I was just thinking.
In various articles and even newspapers, showcasing that this rabbit hole extends far past just the online world. This act is clearly their obsession, and he's been doing this for years, with the earliest examples that I could find coming from all the way back in 2018. And this Stephanie character seems to be his go-to alias, embodying it in even the literal sense. As in one of—
Oh, no, we don't need psych wards anymore.
No, that's just perfectly normal.
Oh, I mean, this is in England, obviously.
That's
his many pages dedicated
woman.
Fuck you.
To this Stephanie character.
Fuck you. Yeah, so brave.
So feminine.
Shapes galore. Do
Mm.
you think... So, I'm not saying someone should use this, but what tool would work better? A pipe wrench or a tire iron?
Help take
I'm
their
asking.
hat off.
Yeah.
Just assist.
It's a new treatment called whack the fuck the sense into some person. What the fuck? Like, how is this? Oh, they're just being their own self. Really? This is fucking serial killer shit.
Yeah.
This is shit I watch for entertainment because I know it doesn't happen.
Yep.
But, bruh. But this is acceptable now.
Dresses as her, wearing a wig and a dress, as he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl.
Really?
Almost immediately after this case
And the worst thing is, like, this is real.
Yep.
began gaining traction, the true magnitude of this rabbit hole was revealed. Across every single account are countless depraved posts and—
You know, the sad thing is, from that picture right there, if you just look over here at the glasses, white Bowser.
oddities that all could warrant discussion, but by far the most important discoveries were those that didn't actually occur on his own page, and rather the pages of other actual children. Do you like school? I do. It is good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and it's quite hot here in the UK, as the month of June suddenly got warmer. These are two examples out of many that show SmartSchoolBoy9 reaching out and attempting to befriend young children online. In one comment, he even warns a child about other comments from bad people, stating that it happens to most boys in our age group, but stay safe, stay cool, don't be dismayed by creeps.
This right here
This is our best evidence
is exactly why you don't need to let kids have social media accounts, because of people like this.
Yeah, of course they're gonna stalk him. You got to think of it like this: these pedophilic ass nuts, they, in a sick way, they're like, tigers to fucking sheep.
Yeah.
They're going after the vulnerable ones that don't know what's going on, because obviously, you're not gonna tell your kids. Hell, now listen, there's some people that wear masks and then they act like they're little kids to befriend you, and then they want to do sex play. Like, that's not a conversation that any parent wants to have with their kids. But it's sad to the point where now you gotta have to.
Yep. Don't let them online, and then it's sad because the ones who don't have really good parents who just kind of let them do whatever.
It's not only that though, Mikey. It's like fucking. Did you think when you had like let's say your first or second kid, that you're going to have to say, hey, when they're 5 years old, you're going to have to sit down and have a talk with them. That there are people out there that are fucking extremely fucked up people, and they will do horrible things. So be on guard because these people exist. But of course, you would have to be more specific. Like nobody thought that.
I've been on the internet a long time, and as you have, but I knew as soon as I was gonna have a kid that the internet was no place for a kid.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes like you can't control every source of media going through.
No.
So if there's even a schmeckle of it, you know,
limit and teach your kids that bad things are on the internet.
Like Mr. fucking
yeah
face. What is that? Blowing raspberries?
What?
Raspberry face?
Oh no.
Raspberry face. There's your horror guy. Raspberry face.
I mean, that these accounts weren't just made for age play. No, he's
actually normally because the horror guys get killed at the whoops.
Posing as a child in order to make friends with other children. And given his overt...
And it's so Leatherface-y, you know? Without the cool chainsaw. And Southern shit, it's like that, UK stuff. It's like, what? Leatherface can't be from the UK.
Sexual interests and aversion to CP, it's not hard to gather why he was doing this. And these examples are only what we found so far. It's possible that there are dozens, or who knows, maybe even hundreds of other comments out there, hidden on unknown children's accounts. This is predatory behavior. The man behind SchoolBoy9 is a predator. And in case there was still any doubt of whether or not this was a sexual thing, here's what he had to say about being a 13-year-old girl. But have his tactics actually worked? Well, the frightening thing is, no one knows if he's actually been successful or not, or even what specifically he's looking for. We just know that he's trying to reach kids, as evidenced not only by his comments, but by the fact that he's solely following children on all of these pages. And though it's easy to look at these accounts and know that something is off, for children, it's not that simple, especially when there's pages showcasing photos of actual kids.
That's what gets me.
Yep.
If it wasn't the kids, you know.
If you want to check out the rest of the video, go to Nick Crowley's channel. Links in the description. This has been a creepy little ride. This came out like, what, 2-3 weeks ago? And I saw it and I was like, this is horrible. Like this guy coming in and being able to act like a kid and trick other kids, like actual kids on the internet, into talking to him and who knows what else. I mean, based on that video, there's all kinds of different things he does with videos and photos of the kids he talks to, and he goes to actual places in real life and takes pictures. Horrible.
Hammer.
Yes. Agreed.
What's that? Wait, what's that? Cannibal Corpse song? Hammer Smash Face.
Ooh.
It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Good song.
Well,
All by itself.
Just talking about song.
And with that, be sure to like and subscribe. Become a member. Show this video to everybody. The guy down the street that you may think is this person.
Why the fuck would you send that to him? I would say, like, you know, why don't you call the cops on that guy?
I mean, that too. But I would send him this too. And just be like, I know you.
We know. We know what you're doing. I'm not doing anything.
And then 2 minutes later, hello, sir. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Hammer Smash Face.
Covering the dark